Well, hello, old friends, and welcome back to the channel. Great news, everyone. It's Babylon 5 time, and today we get to watch Season 5, Episode 3, The Paragon of Animals. That's it. That's the intro. If you could do me a favor, hit that like button, smash that subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. It greatly helps out a small channel and allows me to alert you next time it's time for Babylon 5 or any of our sci-fi fare. And of course, if there's anything that we do that you would like early or in its full-length format, the link to our Patreon is in the description. And if you're not a fan of Patreon, consider YouTube memberships. You'll get all of our episodes at least a day early. But my dear friends, all that is then and this is now. And what is now? Now it's time for the Paragon of Animals, the third episode of the fifth and final season of the one and only Babylon 5. Prepare to engage maximum warp reaction. And away we go.
Please, everyone. Listen.
Oh, same old. Londo's up and around good.
As soon as all your governments signed the Declaration of Principles, you have agreed to abide by everything else. Why can't you sign the Declaration?
You cannot legislate morality,
I will remind the Drazi ambassador that the Centauri Republic has already signed the declaration.
And if the Centauri can sign it, anybody can sign it.
If the Centauri can do it.
We do not need others to teach us morality. The Drazi refuse to sign because we do not need to sign.
Wait, listen. Everyone, please, listen.
Well, this was bound to happen. You can't add in good faith stuff because that'll rub everybody the wrong way.
Londo thinks we should drop the Declaration of Principles.
Yeah, well, you gotta consider the source, right? And Dylan?
Ready to strangle someone, which is saying a lot for her. So where do you stand?
I hate to say it, but I'm with Londo. But this isn't the time to start legislating morality or ethics, fairness. Hell, we've been working on that one for over 6,000 years.
Yeah.
I didn't go through all this just to make a social club or some high-tech store. This is about something.
Hey, I'm not arguing. I'm just saying this isn't the right...
Maybe multiple voices inputting. That's more problems probably than it's worth, but...
These people respect strength, nothing else.
That's exactly the problem. We have to get them to think in other terms.
In time.
In time, yeah.
And prove to them that we're a power to contend with. And then you can send them the roses and the chocolates.
I think Mike's right in this.
But this alliance of yours is at a very critical stage. It's still an infant, and it's going to stand or fall depending upon what you do over the next 6 months. Now, sooner or later, you're going to have to use force to make this thing work.
Yeah, the alliance has to be strong, and it has to thrive. John's one of the few cats that looks younger with a goatee. Whoa. I was hoping that was a training exercise. It is not. Who do we have in here?
He is a ranger. He will help us, Mercat. He will take word of our situation to the Alliance at Babylon 5, and they will come. They will fight for us, and they will save us.
Unless this guy's not a ranger. Okay, good. God, I was super duper scared that they'd be like, he's a ranger, and then he just starts killing everybody.
Commander Sinclair is being reassigned.
Why don't you eliminate the entire non-holo race?
This might be my favorite opening, just because it's all of our highlights of our coolest moments. There's no way you can put all the coolest moments down, but just a reminder of some of the cooler moments. How's that?
Why are you here? Do you have anything worth living for?
Show is absolutely amazing. So many times you can say it. The appropriate response to how many times can I say that Babylon 5 is amazing? It is always one more time. That is the answer. You know what? A couple of you said that a few of these storylines for season 5 were actually supposed to be earlier had they had more time in season 4. And I'm beginning to think I know how to tell the difference. If Lockley isn't in it, then something tells me that's going to be because she wasn't present in the long night, the very long night of Londo Mollari.
Jakar?
Oh, sorry.
Rewrites.
I was thinking that if I could make it more linguistically suitable to the Drazi, they might be open to signing it.
Great maker, I need a drink.
We may be able to get the Bakmara on board to help,
but they're going to need something in exchange.
Oh, offer them my body. Another 10 minutes of this, I'll be dead anyway.
I second the motion.
Jakar.
Look at the two of them smiling at each other.
A couple of weeks back, after they saved your life, Mr. President, you gave a small colony of telepaths permission to take up residence here on the station. At the time, they said they were willing to work to earn their keep. I've been collating the latest reports from the Rangers. Now, while they're all very thorough and very considering, they could be better, more complete.
How? They use every available means of gathering information.
Except telepathy.
I think I know where this is going.
We can't do that. It's the same thing. It's the same thing Psi-Corps does.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Psi-Corps rules. But who in this room supports the Psi-Corps anyway?
Hey.
Every race, except ours and the Narns, use telepaths in some kind of military or intelligence capability. And the only reason the Narns don't do it is because they don't have any natural-born teeps. No offense.
None taken.
None taken.
I'm not big on telepaths myself. I'm not big on guns either. But if everyone else has them, I want to make sure I can get my hands on the biggest one I can.
I let them aboard, figuring we could keep them in our back pocket until they were needed.
That's the wrong way to look at it, too, but...
Let's put them to use now instead of waiting to the last moment. If they want to work, I say, great, here's a chance.
But they ran for this very reason.
They may say no.
Right.
All I want is permission to have the conversation. They say no, end of discussion. They say yes, you can vote on it.
That's okay. I'm down with that. We ask them what they think.
But don't commit us to anything.
Done.
And don't commit them either. Remember, they ran because this was what they were being asked to do to join Psi-Corps.
Why in liberties?
Don't go away. Repress someone else.
Okay, let's try this again, shall we? Now, I'm here on behalf of President Sheridan. You know, the guy who lets you live here and eat here and whatever here. Anyway, if you're not going to cooperate, then I'm going to have to tell him that you're just being downright unfriendly.
And there he is.
Afternoon. My name's Michael Garibaldi.
Yes, it is. And the answer is no.
Wait a second. You didn't hear what I had to say.
Yes, he did.
Yes, I did. I heard your proposition. I heard what you thought I would probably say in response. And I heard the counter-arguments you plan to use.
Wait a minute.
Do you know what a telepath has to do in order to avoid picking up stray thoughts? We have to kick down our natural abilities. Run rhymes and little songs through our heads, round and round. All that to keep from picking up what you're broadcasting loud enough to be heard halfway down the hall. You never enter a situation until you've gone over it and over it 100 times. Worked out what you will say.
Okay.
That little personality quirk must have cost you more than a few relationships.
Hey, Byron.
I didn't need to scan you, Mr. Garibaldi. And even if I did, since you were here to ask us to do the same to others on your behalf, we will work. We will fix, sell, rent. But we will no longer take orders from mundanes or belong to organizations which take us in only when it is convenient.
Oh, boy.
That includes Psi-Corps, and that includes you. Good day, Mr. Garibaldi.
Alrighty. So this is going to be a problem. Byron's attitude has changed quite a bit.
Requesting emergency docking. Medical assistance needed.
Whoa.
How is it? Not good. Multiple fractures, lost a lot of blood. I think some shock.
The White Star was effed up too.
You gotta help them. They're all gonna die. I understand. You gotta help them.
Breathe, breathe, breathe.
Kid, stay alive so you can tell him, bud.
Ship was shot to hell. Computer systems down, long-range comm systems dead.
Surprised they made the jump.
It's a miracle he got here in one piece.
Yeah.
At most, I'd say he has a few hours.
Were you able to find out why he was coming here?
No, he passed out before he could say anything.
Can we bring Lita in at least? Is that... I can't even tell if that's Lita. Yeah, okay. Her hair's gotten longer.
10 years ago, the raiders fell upon us. They came in great ships and destroyed our cities, our fields.
Shadows?
We cannot beat them, but we have chosen to fight. This time we have said no.
Okay, so this is just regular, air quote, regular raiders, okay.
We wish to join your new alliance. What others have taken by force, we wish to give freely to your cause.
I'm dying, aren't I?
Alrighty.
Aren't I? Don't let him die because I failed.
Oh, you didn't fail, dude. You succeeded. Go on, kid. You stand relieved. Lita, you might want to jump out of his mind.
Brain activity 0. It's dead.
You fulfilled his mission.
The world is located on the edge of Drazi space, but the Drazi have never claimed it as a protectorate, never shown much interest in the outer territories.
That means we have to go through the Drazi to get to him.
Unless we help them out. Which means getting into a firefight.
We were always going to have this.
Well, have you spoken to Londo or Jakar about this?
Yes. They wish this could have come at a better time, as if there is ever a good time.
Yeah, there's never a good time.
Oh, I can just hear Londo now. I imagine you are finding your principles most inconvenient now, yes?
It's pretty good.
But we knew we were going to have to get into it sooner or later. We may as well get it over with now.
Show that you're capable of doing it.
Whoever's out there bombing the Infili, they managed to trash a White Star. That means superior firepower in strength or in numbers.
No, we take them all out.
If you're going to make a point, why not make it so that no one misses it? Send all of them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Ducat once told me, if you can create sufficient fear in your enemies, you may not have to fight them. Always remember that terror is also a form of communication.
Terror is a form of communication.
The new Interstellar Alliance, fresh out of its crib, and before it's even learned how to walk, is gonna go find the neighborhood bully and pick a fight.
Punch him in the mouth. We hope. That's a lot of White Stars.
Since this encroaches on Drazi space, I wanted you to know that we were going in and ask for your help.
Or permission.
I will speak with my government. If we can help, we will do so.
Thank you. Thank you. We'll wait for you at the rendezvous point for as long as we can.
Oh boy, we're sticking with the Drazi. Great. All right, Byron, what do you got? Anybody think we should check in on Lita? Make her feel like she's still part of the human race? No? All right.
I've been looking all over for you. I've got a job for you.
Oh, for God's sakes.
Why, I'm fine, Mr. Garibaldi. Thank you so much for asking.
That's why I'm here. I thought that...
Did she tell you I was inside his mind when he died?
That can't be a good thing.
No one is supposed to know except the person who is dying.
Right.
When it happens, you see it as a door opening. Because there's no other way for the human mind to interpret what you're seeing. It pulls you in, and a part of your soul goes with him.
I don't believe in souls.
Yeah, thanks, Mike. You're not listening, bud.
And after that, you're never quite whole again. I've only been through it twice. I've seen other telepaths who've been through it 4 or 5 times. And you look into their eyes.
You can see there's something missing.
The rumor around Psychor is that's what happened to Mr. Bester. Did you know that? They say he was always volunteering for deathbed scans. They say he was there inside someone's mind when they died, and he went too deep. Saw more than anyone should ever see.
Wow.
And what kind of a job would you like me to do for you, Mr. Garibaldi?
Never mind.
I went to see them.
Did they tell you they were tired of being used by mundanes?
Yes.
Did they tell you to go to hell?
In so many words.
I'm here to tell you that they're right, Mike.
So you want me to talk to them, one teacher to another?
Well, they'll listen to you. You're one of their kind. Look, I'm asking you to do this as a personal favor. If not for me, then Sheridan, Delenn.
No, don't play on her sympathies.
Now, I came back because I figured they deserve a fighting chance to make this work. And I'm gonna give it to them. You do this for me, and I swear I will never ask you for anything ever again.
Bullshit. You're going to send her down there, and they are going to turn on her, and she's going to feel even more isolated. We are doing Lita a massive disservice here, and we have been doing it for quite some time. We only need her when we need a tool in the toolbox, and nobody checks on her, nobody sees how she's doing, nobody sees if she has enough money, nobody's her friend, Jesus, God almighty. Boy, I bet you John's happy they're staying at his place. You're on the elevated board over at Delenn's. Really? I like how we don't have any guards or anything for the president. Like, shouldn't there be just like at least one security person right outside? Or is this Jakar with his rewrites?
That looks like the opening of Jakar's Declaration of Principles. I guess he finished revising it.
Read it to me.
The universe speaks in many languages, but only one voice. The language is not Narn or human or Centauri or Gaeum or Minbari.
It speaks in the language of strength and the language of compassion. It is the language of the heart.
I'm very concerned about this.
It is the voice of our ancestors speaking through us, and the voice of our inheritors waiting to be born. We are one. No matter the pain, no matter the darkness, no matter the loss, no matter the fear, we agree to recognize this singular truth and this singular rule.
It's nice of Steven to do.
We are the voice of the universe, the soul of creation, the fire that will light the way to a better future. We are one.
You're keeping us out. You're keeping all of us out.
You're damn right.
Mr. Garibaldi.
Yes, I know he sent you. You're used to running other people's errands, aren't you? Sit. Stand. Roll over. Bark. Always taking orders. Running errands for other people.
This is why we should have had this asshole scanned before we brought him on here.
Sit.
Please.
Please? That's why we're here. Because we're tired of being ordered around by those who cannot hear the song we hear.
Oh boy.
Used as cannon fodder, as inquisitors, as executioners, and as bloodhounds.
They forget we're human beings, too.
No, not human beings. Better.
Yep. Oh, shit.
How noble in reason. How infinite in faculties. In form and moving, how express and admirable.
Mm-hmm. Byron.
The paragon of animals. The paragon of animals. An animal does not do this to its own kind, but they do it to each other. And they would do it to us unless we stop them. Unless we find a way.
Oh.
Unless we care for one another.
You mean one another as a separate group? Yes. So you're talking about mundanes and teeps.
Tell your friend we will find him two among us who are trained beyond reproach. They will find for him all the things that are hidden, all the things that are dark.
For who? I'm sure they will find out all that stuff.
I passed the Drazi ambassador shortly after he finished talking to Sheridan. He was broadcasting his thoughts quite loudly. Tell your friend that the White Stars they've sent to help the Infili are going into a trap. In a little while, they will all die. And all those they sought to protect will also be dead.
Could you have spun that up a little quicker?
The Drazi keep all the worlds at their borders beaten down and submissive. Their economy gets periodic boosts from the Raiders' attacks on the outworlds, and they get to stay above it all.
Byron's information is sketchy on this part, but he believes the Drazi are going to lead the White Stars into an ambush, guaranteeing no further interference. They're going to hit the Infili homeworld and wipe out everything in sight as retribution for trying to bring us in.
Oh, boy.
Michael, contact the fleet. Tell them not to wait for the Drazi. They are to leave the rendezvous point at once and head straight for the Infili homeworld.
Then send backup.
Maximum burn. They have to get there before the Drazi arrive.
Yep. Go, Mike.
You saved a lot of lives today, Lita. Thank you.
Oh, don't make it sound like, you know, you're chewing glass when you say it. You're an invaluable member of our team. We don't thank you enough.
But they are not stars. Look.
Yeah, here we go. Here we go.
Sorry to bring you out in the middle of the night, but we thought you should see this. Ambassador, good. You should most definitely take a look at this.
Let's hope that this is legit. I mean, we're taking Byron's word for this.
This is the Infili homeworld. They've recently been the subject of attacks by raiders that have decimated.
We'll know real quick how the Drazi react to this.
We asked the Drazi government to support our action since the Infili are on the edge of Drazi space. Isn't that right, Ambassador?
Yes, yes.
They've taken out the few raiders that were harassing the population and taken up defensive positions around their planet.
But they were supposed to wait at the rendezvous point.
You see, we had information that there may be a larger fleet.
The raiders your ships defeated, do you know if they had a chance to send out a distress signal?
Oh, no. They were shot right out of the sky with great efficiency.
That means you're going into a trap.
Your enemy is our enemy. Isn't that right, Ambassador?
That's why we wanted you to be here in particular, Ambassador.
So you could watch it.
Unless you can think of a reason why we shouldn't. Is there something wrong, Ambassador?
I have to poop.
No, I need to talk to them. I need to talk to them right now.
Why?
Could it be because those are your ships coming to attack the Infili?
I can't...
Answer the question, Ambassador.
Yes, it's true. Please, you have to let me save them. We have hundreds of our people on board those ships.
And the Infili have been dying by the thousands because of you.
You can't fire on our ships. We're your allies. We fought alongside you during the Shadow War. We're on the same side.
Are we? Ask them. Let them decide.
Oh.
Please.
Read the room, buddy.
We will leave the Infili unharmed. I swear to you, we will never bother them again.
All right, there's an open stellar comm link in the other room. Go on. Now, some of you have asked why you should have to sign a declaration of principles.
Because of this shit.
Before being allowed full membership in the Alliance. Well, what you've just seen fully illustrates the point far more eloquently than I ever could.
Whoop. Everybody, turn around. Turn around. We effed up. That actually worked out well, everybody. Well done, Lita. No one else will tell you. Now, would you like to go get some pizza? Maybe hang out for a little bit? I'm not going to ask you to do anything.
I thought you were going to file those away someplace safe.
In a little while. I was just trying to savor the moment a little.
I'm going to swim in them like Scrooge McDuck.
Both our problems were solved by telepaths. First, by getting the important information from the Ranger, and then from the Drazi ambassador. Mr. Garibaldi was right.
Lita.
Oh, good. I was looking for these.
Jakar, what are we doing?
Well, we need to get everyone to sign them again.
What?
No.
Do you understand what we went through to get them signed even once?
I revised it again. It's better.
No.
Jakar.
Well, look.
We're not done. No. New drafts don't get...
It's better.
I'll be in touch.
Well, he's going to be rewriting this damn thing forever.
Got to watch this very closely. Because we are standing on the proverbial slippery slope. And if we're not careful, there's a big fall out there that's just waiting to happen.
Mm-hmm. You're pushing Lita right into their arms.
I'd like to hear a little more about your ideas.
Of course. This way.
I mean, I completely get it. Completely get it. That's probably the most realistic thing that's ever happened on Babylon 5, and Babylon 5 is an incredibly realistic show as far, especially with interpersonal. We'll talk all about it. All right, everybody, we just finished watching Babylon 5, Season 5, Episode 3, The Paragon of Animals, and the only thing left to do is talk about it. All right, everybody, we just finished The Paragon of Animals, the third episode of the 5th season of the one and only Babylon 5. Again, I really enjoyed this one, but it's so bittersweet, and it's so irritating to watch it because you can see this coming. You could see this coming from the very first time that they ignored Lita. And I completely understand and agree with Lita in this. I have no allegiance. I am not siding, not even a pinky toe on John's side or the side of Mike. All of that stuff is utter horseshit. Unless your name is Zach, then you have contributed to the situation that we have with Lita. At no point, and I might be wrong, I mean, there's certainly been pleasantries exchanged. There's certainly been like moments of, you know, friendship and being comrades and all that stuff. You know, I'm thinking about whenever she was on board, whenever they went down onto the surface of Mars and they were taking over the bunkers and all that stuff. Yes, there have been moments, but again, it's almost forced circumstances. You know, nobody ever went out of, unless your name is Zach, nobody went out of their way to make sure that even check on Lita, to even be like, hey, you know, everybody had a really tough time with this mission, war, fight, day at the office. How are you doing? That question, if asked in even the least amount of frequency that you could ask that question, how are you doing, could have changed the complete tide now. But again, we're past the point of no return now. Even if someone were to come forward now and be like, hey, you know, Lita, I want to apologize for the way that, you know, we've been overlooking you. We've been taking you for granted. You know, we think she does all of these fantastic things, and she doesn't need the reinforcement or the support or the emotional stability or, again, the ability to reach out and companionship and stuff like that. I mean, you could spin it any way you wanted to, but it better be honest, because she could obviously read your mind. Sorry, Byron sort of let the cat out of the bag with that one, because I personally, and it might have been stated before, but I never realized that it was that much of an effort for the telepaths to kind of keep out the background noise, to keep out just the surface thoughts that are kind of emanating from us. I always thought that it was more like they had to at least focus a little bit. Otherwise, it was kind of just gibberish in the background. I often think, and I've compared it to my understanding of it anyway, I've compared it to the way that Charles Xavier, Professor X in the X-Men comic book, explained it whenever he was training Jean Grey, whenever she was one of his first students. Phoenix came over, or Marvel Girl, or whatever version we're talking about. He would say that, you know, it was very difficult because it was when you were out and before you could kind of put a wall up if you were a telepath, it was just like 1,000 voices screaming or talking at once. You couldn't differentiate who was saying what. It was like madness. And that's sort of what I expected. And it was erroneous, obviously, but that's what I sort of understood the telepaths in Babylon 5 to be like. They're walking through like the Zocalo and they'd be like, oh my God, yeah, I can hear everything. And you couldn't really make anything out. And it required like one, you could kind of wall it all off and be like, okay, woo, it's quiet enough. Or I could focus on one particular mind, but it was an active thing. It wasn't like a passive kind of thing that you would do. This kind of changes it because now they can glean things that you're not necessarily having them activate to hear. They can just be in your proximity. And if you're thinking something too loud, like Mike, planning things out, they can read you like a book. That's a bigger problem, a much bigger problem. And one, of course, Byron's acting like an asshole now. You know, he's kind of like showing his true identity after they've already secured this little colony here on Babylon 5. But I mean, that's what he should do. In a weird way, uniform included in all of this, I absolutely feel for what the telepaths are going through. Even Bester. I mean, I 100% understand, obviously not literally understand, but I understand the plight that they are in. That it doesn't matter if you are a known telepath, you are considered the other. You are not necessarily human. You are human adjacent now because you are somebody that, you know, most of the mundanes look at telepaths with, at the very least, an air of they're guarding themselves, you know, definitely a defense mechanism pops up. At worst, you have something like Edgar's who, you know, hey, we're going to have to take them all out. That's just the way the cookie crumbles. Okay, so somewhere along the middle, I don't even think that works along that spectrum. We needed to have an established sort of communal type of situation going on even before, at like the very advent of the telepaths. There needed to be some type of foundational moment between like the two variants of humanity, but that didn't happen. And now we are past the point where we can be even considered part of the same group. Yes, do I consider them humans? Absolutely. But our mundanes and our telepaths in a great percentage don't consider themselves in part of the other group anymore. At least from all the examples that we've seen, that's the way that it is. So we have Lita, Lita's been through the ringer in the show. I honestly think that, outside of Jakar during his incarceration and all of that stuff, Lita has definitely suffered the most. She has been the most traumatized. I mean, the crap that the Vorlons did to her, that asshole 2.0 did whenever, I mean, just ripping, all of that, the psionic energy and all that stuff, and she would just feel so weak, and then she was placed on the outside, and the rest of the humans on Babylon 5 didn't give a shit about her, didn't care, didn't ask how she was, never checked on her, isolated her further. It's just bullshit, and I just don't understand. You have Zach, who is a guy who definitely, Zach should be our example, our shining example on the hill of how a human, a mundane, should act towards a human, a telepath. You know what I mean? It was because he doesn't treat her any differently. He treats her as a friend, as just someone else. Everybody else has a different set of attitudes towards the other group. And John is really bad with this shit. He is really bad. This is my long-winded way of getting around to that final scene where he turned and begrudgingly apologized to her. And it seemed like that. Like, a lot of people would have died here today. Thank you. But that's my long-winded way of saying this. Going back to the very beginning and the idea that if Byron is telling the truth, that telepaths, it's much easier for telepaths to hear shouted comments or even like surface thoughts than what I assumed from before that. So again, long-winded way of saying, when John turned around and looked at Lita and said, like begrudgingly, hey, a lot of people would have died if it wasn't for you. Thanks. She heard what he was really thinking. And again, I'm not putting thoughts in John's head, but if we're going by his attitude and his delivery for that line, I'm guessing she heard something to the effect, she didn't hear that. She didn't hear, the thanks. She heard the, I don't trust you. I don't think that you, I've never trusted you. I don't like what you can do. I don't like being in the room with somebody that can hear my thoughts, or whatever the thinly veiled disdain he had whenever he delivered that line. Thanks. She heard it for absolutely what it was. If she couldn't glean the, read through that incredibly dense subterfuge he had over there where he seemed so happy when he was giving the line, she definitely got it for what it was. And it's no coincidence that immediately after that scene, we see her down below with Byron. John, your whole side, all the mundanes, everybody else with the exception of Zach, pushed her in this direction. And now we get to reap the whirlwind, because if she starts to feel more of an affinity towards this group and she feels more ostracized and excluded from everybody on B5, we have pitched Lita to the air quote enemy, and it is entirely our fault. Entirely our fault. Oh, what a beautiful thing it is to watch characters that you care about make poor decisions, because you want to scream, you want to rage and say, no, do it the right way. But friends, what fun is that? That's a story that doesn't have a moment like JMS is prepping, I'm sure, for this very time period. So we get to sit back, we can become irritated in the actions of characters that we love, and to me, that makes the very same characters all the more real. Friends, if you could do me a favor, hit that like button, smash that subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. It greatly helps out a small channel, and it allows me to alert you next time it's time for Babylon 5 or any of our sci-fi fare. And of course, if there's anything that we do that you would like early or in its full-length format, the link to our Patreon is in the description. And if you're not a fan of Patreon, consider YouTube memberships. You'll get all of our episodes at least a day early. But my dear friends, all that is then and this is now, and now unfortunately it's time for us to say goodbye from the beautiful Babylon 5 as we conclude episode 3 of season 5, the Paragon of Animals. And I think we're not done with the events of this episode by a long shot, but we do have to leave. But as the Greek chorus, somebody that hears the words that were spoken by JMS into all of your ears so many decades ago, it is now our job to find people that haven't seen Babylon 5 and continue to share both the story and the message by saying, you haven't seen Babylon 5? Well, do you like the greatest story ever told? And hopefully we continue to expand JMS's audience. But friends, as a reward for this dutiful service, we are given the ability to jump back into the episode we just watched and say goodbye from a favored scene. And friends, I've done it before, I will do it again, and I will hope that somehow through this sort of osmosis, we are able to at least give Lita a moment of companionship. As right before Mike gets there, right before Mike comes in and says, hey, I need you for something. Get up, oh, Lita, how are you? We sit down. Maybe we bring a pizza in, a la Zach. Or maybe we bring some drinks over. And the one thing we don't ask when we sit down is, hey, can you do something for me? We sit down, and the first thing that we ask is, Lita, how was your day? And that, friends, is how we have friends, and hopefully how we'd keep Lita on our side. But that's not the story we're watching, is it? Until such time as we can continue this story that we're watching, Vulcan roll, old friends, and I'll see you.